At this point, we now need to set up a VoIP carrier to give us the ability to make outbound phone calls to public phone numbers like cell phones, home phones, or any other phone number on the network. The carrier does this for a pay-per-minute cost that's very inexpensive, so there's a lot of opportunity to mark up the price in order to make a nice profit. The carrier I recommend using is VoIP.ms, since they have a very good portal where you can create sub-accounts and sub-clients that are going to be under your main account. At this point, I'm going to go through and walk you through the steps of setting up a sub-account, and then we'll configure the PBX with the template configurations to run off of that sub-account. First, you need to go to VoIP.ms and then click on the sign-up link at the top of the screen. Once you have created an account and added some funds to the account, log in and go to the main screen that looks like this. Now that you've signed up for VoIP.ms, we need to go ahead and create a sub-account. You can see this menu up here, sub-accounts, and what you want to do is go in and create a sub-account. This is just going to give us the ability to better manage this account. So you want it to be a SIP, we want to do user and password authentication, and now we need a username. I'm just going to do Udemy demo, and the password. Okay, now the password's been entered. The device type is going to be asterisk. Obviously, we want to use the asterisk IPBX option here. Caller ID number, let's leave that blank. Canadian routing, I would set that to value. We can fiddle around with this stuff later, but it really has to do with more of the VoIP.ms settings than asterisks. International calling, I would leave that disabled. Don't worry about the balance, the music on hold. And account name, let's give this something meaningful so I know what it is in the future. And there's some advanced options that we could display here, but we don't need to worry about those right now. The defaults are fine. And that's it. Go ahead and click the Create Account button. And now that account is created. So I can go to the Manage Sub-Accounts, and there it is. So now that I have that created, there's some specific items that I need out of that to enter into my sample configuration. First of all, being the username, we definitely need to copy that down and know what that is, because we're going to need to replace that when we do the SIP registration. So if we go back over to our sample configs that I opened up earlier, you can see we have the sip.conf here. So now we want to customize this so that it will work with our account. So I'm going to go back to my account, and I have my username here, so I'm going to copy that. Go back to my text file. So 100,000 is the username, so we need to replace that with the value that we used in the setup. The password here, we want to replace that with the password that I created, and then we can select the server that we want. So I'm going to leave that as default. If you wanted to change that, you're welcome to. So down here in the VoIP.ms setting, we have some settings here. The next line needs our password, the secret. So I'll paste that in there. The username, which we have up here. Again, from user, we need to change that. And that's it. All the other settings we can leave as default. So that looks good. Now we need to go ahead and enter that into our PBX configuration. So after you've made the changes to your zip.conf file here, we're going to copy these settings and paste them into your sample config. So I'll start with the first line, the registration string, and copy that. And we'll go over to our PBX software. And I've already gone ahead and opened the zip.conf file, which is the one we need to edit. So if you haven't opened that, you scroll down here until you get to the zip.conf, and then you'll just click on that and click Open File, which I've already done. So down here in my stock config, we'll see the registration string, and we just want to replace that with what we have. So select that, delete it, and then we'll paste in the new registration string. And then we also want to do that for our zip peer here. So we'll go back to the text file and copy this here, copy that, and we'll come back over here and replace all of this. And then you do your save changes, and that will have all of your settings set up for your zip carrier.